Hello, everyone, and welcome to World Trade Insight, your go-to channel for finance, money management, and economic insights. Have you ever looked at your bank account, even with a pretty good salary, and just wondered, why am I not getting ahead? It's this frustrating puzzle so many of us face. Well, the truth is, you might be living in a prison you can't even see, one designed to keep you from ever building real wealth. And today, we're going to expose it. So let's start with a really mind-blowing number. The average person over their lifetime will earn more than $2 million. $2 million. So why is it that most people retire with less than 100 grand in savings? I mean, that's a huge gap. More than $1.9 million that seems to have just evaporated. Where does it all go?
And here's the first thing you absolutely have to understand. This isn't just about you being bad with money. It's not a personal failure. You're actually operating inside what we're calling an invisible prison, a whole system that is literally designed to siphon that wealth away from you. The bars aren't made of steel. They're made of things like monthly payments, what society expects of you, and some really powerful psychological tricks.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to tackle that $2 million question head on. Then we'll break down the three biggest traps the system uses: the payment illusion, lifestyle inflation, and something called the ignorance tax. We'll also get into why the system is even built this way, and most importantly, how you can finally start to see the bars and find a way out. Okay, our first trap. This one is maybe the most powerful because it's so subtle. It completely changes the way we think about how much something costs. It's called the payment illusion. You see, the way this trap works is actually a pretty brilliant psychological trick. It gets you to laser focus on a small, easy-to-swallow monthly number. Your brain sees that payment, it compares it to your monthly income and just thinks, yeah, I can handle that. What's happening is it's completely bypassing the part of your brain that should be screaming, wait, what's the real total cost here? I mean, just think about it. When was the last time you heard someone buying a new car ask for the total sticker price first? Nope, they ask, what's the monthly going to be? And this is not an accident. It's a deliberate shift. The whole consumer economy has been rewired. Companies aren't just selling you stuff anymore. They're selling you payment plans to lock you in. Let's just break down the math real quick. A $500 a month car payment, it feels doable, right? But over 5 years, that's $30,000 you've paid for a car that was only worth $22,000 to begin with. That is $8,000 that has just vanished into thin air, all for the convenience of that small monthly payment. And this illusion, this focus on payments, feeds directly into our second trap, lifestyle inflation. This is that sneaky mechanism that makes sure that even when your income goes up, your actual wealth pretty much stays flat. We've all been on this treadmill. You get a raise, and for a second, it feels like you're finally getting ahead. But then, almost without you even noticing, your spending just expands to meet that new income. A nicer apartment, a newer car, going out for more expensive dinners, and before you know it, you are right back where you started, just living a more expensive version of the exact same paycheck-to-paycheck life. Think about it. A $30,000 raise should be a life-changing event. That's money that could be supercharging your investments, fast-tracking your financial goals. But for most people, it just gets absorbed. It becomes a slightly bigger apartment, a slightly newer car, and your savings rate, it stays exactly the same. Your net worth just doesn't budge. And here's the really insidious part. The goalposts are designed to move. When you were making $60,000, you probably thought $90,000 was the dream. But as soon as you get there, you start looking at the people earning $200,000. The system makes sure there's always a higher tier to aim for, so you never feel like you've really made it. You just keep spending more to keep up. So these first two traps leave you financially vulnerable, right? And that leads directly to the third, and honestly the most infuriating trap of all, the ignorance tax. This is basically the premium you pay day in and day out for not knowing all the tricky little rules of the financial game. And this so-called tax shows up in all sorts of ways. It's that bank fee you get for dipping below a minimum balance. It's the cripplingly high interest on your credit card debt. It's the late fees, the overdraft charges, all those hidden fees in your investment accounts. Each one is like a small fine for not paying super close attention. And these little fines, they really add up. The average person pays over $1,000 a year just in unnecessary bank and credit card fees. That's $1,000 that could have been invested, growing, compounding for your future, but instead, it's just gone, siphoned away by the system. And here is the absolute cruelest irony in all of this.
The people who can least afford these fees, the ones living paycheck to paycheck, they're the ones who end up paying them the most often. Overdraft charges, crazy payday loan rates, higher interest. This system is literally structured to make being poor incredibly expensive, which traps people in a cycle of debt they just can't escape. So this all begs a pretty fundamental question. Why? Why is the entire financial system set up this way? And look, it's not necessarily some grand evil conspiracy. It's a design that's rooted in a very simple economic reality. The answer is actually pretty simple. Our entire economy is built on consumer spending. Think about it. If a majority of people suddenly started saving, say, 20% of their income, whole industries would start to crumble. Because of this, a massive infrastructure exists with really just one primary goal: to keep money flowing out of your pocket and into theirs. And the tools they use are literally everywhere you look. Advertising is designed to create a constant feeling that you're not enough, that you need more. Social media turns your lifestyle into a competition. Easy credit removes the need to wait and save for something. It's a relentless, psychologically engineered assault on your self-control. But the real genius of this whole system is how it deflects blame. When you're struggling to get ahead, the story isn't about the system being rigged, it's about you. You're told you aren't disciplined enough, or you're just not working hard enough. It masterfully turns a systemic problem into a personal failing, and that stops you from ever questioning the rules of the game itself. Okay, so we've laid out this whole invisible prison. And I know it sounds pretty bleak, but understanding the system is the absolute first step to beating it. So how do you fight back? Well, it all starts with learning to see the bars. Just by understanding these three traps, the payment illusion, lifestyle inflation, and the ignorance tax, you've armed yourself with your most powerful weapon. You can't fight an enemy you can't see. And now, for the first time, you might finally be seeing the enemy clearly. Now, the path to freedom, it isn't glamorous. It's not some get-rich-quick scheme being sold by an influencer online. It's the boring, consistent stuff. Automating your savings so you don't even have to think about it, aggressively avoiding debt, and just committing to learn the basics of how money works. These are the small, deliberate actions that let you slip through the bars. So we'll leave you with this one question. You can see the prison now. You understand the traps. What is the one single thing you will do today to begin your escape? Whether it's canceling a subscription you forgot about or setting up that first automatic transfer to your savings, that first step is yours to take. The system is designed to keep you running on a treadmill. The question is whether you'll choose to step off. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more practical insights on finance and the economy. This is World Trade Insight. We'll see you in the next one.